Hi everyone. So today I'm going to start with how you can figure out what you want to do with college, and we're going to get all the way to how you can choose to like something. Now, the first part, how can you choose to like college? This is a really hard thing to do. So the first step is just to start thinking about it. If you're watching this video, you probably already have started thinking about it, but keep thinking about it. Think about what are the things I've done in life that I enjoy. Then you have to kind of weed out the things that everybody enjoys, and everybody does that stuff. Like watching TV, you're probably not going to get a very good degree in that. But think about the things that you do, especially if they're more active, more involved, that maybe you don't even think that you like them, but you do them for some reason, right? So I liked working on computers. I say I liked it. There were times I didn't like it. There were times I was only doing it because I had to, because I didn't have enough money to just buy a new computer. But I did it, and I realized that most people wouldn't be motivated enough to actually take their computer apart to fix it just because they want to play Need for Speed, right? So that's one thing I kind of realized, and I didn't start my real degree until I was 27. The thing is, I always kind of realized that a little bit, but every time I was asked, I would say, I don't know what I want to do. And out of high school, I even started in business, but I couldn't keep with it because I didn't really think at all that's what I wanted to do. I didn't really have any interest in business. Though, nowadays it does look a little bit attractive. Back then, I knew that that wasn't really what I wanted. So I wasn't really able to get that far through it. Now, when I decided to go later, I asked myself, what do I like to do? Well, I like working with computers. Now, I wasn't programming, I wasn't working on servers, I wasn't doing anything high level. I just liked kind of troubleshooting. I got a kick out of if I actually fixed something. And that wasn't much. That was not enough for me to say for sure that's what I wanted to do. Back when I was out of high school, it definitely wasn't enough for me to say, yeah, this is what I want to do. So I went on my hunt. That's what I did. I said, this is the best I've got. I'm 27. I need to do something with my life, and manual labor is definitely not my thing. So I decided to go with that, right? I went with my hunch. Now here's the thing that you have to know going into these fields. Whether you're going into medicine or physics or programming, any of these difficult degrees that pay well, they pay well for a reason, because there is some, if not a lot of it, that is not really fun to anyone, especially at first. There's parts of programming that no programmer enjoys, and you can see that on the Programmer Humor subreddit anytime. There are things that are not fun about it to almost anyone. Nobody likes that. And that is part of what weed out classes are doing, is they're trying to see, can you get through that part that is not fun and continue liking what you do and doing what you do. They're not necessarily doing this for your sake. If you can't do that, you're not going to make a very good employee. That's what it comes down to. If you quit as soon as the going gets tough, you're not going to be somebody that anyone wants to hire. You have to be able to work through the hard times and enjoy the good times. So basically, how do you choose to like something? Because that's what you're going to have to do to get through that point. And the way you do it is, when you're going in, the first thing you have to do is realize that this is going to be hard, right? Hard is not bad. Hard is hard. So you're going to go in and you're going to have a good attitude. You're going to look at what makes this cool. Why do I think this is cool? For me, computers. Why do I think computers cool? So obviously, I'm sitting here looking at a screen which is doing logic, basically electrical signals pass through a rock that we've designed to think, and I can write something, in this computer to tell it what to do, and I see it in front of me. That's amazing to me, and I would never deny that that's cool, because it is cool. And I would keep hanging on to that as I went through it, that a lot of times when something is cool, that's because it's hard to do, and that this is going to be hard on me, and I should expect that it's going to be hard. And when I go in, I'm going to focus on why it's cool, and I'm going to continue to think it's cool. I'm even going to talk about how it's cool. Things like the professor not being a good teacher, or just reading off the slides, or the tests aren't fair, and this isn't like how real life is, you can always Google stuff. I'm going to not think about that. I'm going to choose to look the other way on those things. Why? Because they're not going to help me to pass. They're not going to help me to succeed, and they're not going to help me do much of anything other than complain. Now, this may make you a bit of a contrarian, in your class. So you may not want to be way too vocal about it unless you're okay being a contrarian, and I was. Then go ahead. Now, what happens to a lot of students is they don't realize that every difficult degree has this kind of thing, this catch class, this weed out class that is there to, it's designed basically to make you not like what you're doing, even if you think it's really cool and you really think it's for you. So you get people that they go in, they're like, this is just a hunch, I had some other hunches, and they're on that hunch, they are with that hunch, kinda, they're doubting themselves, but it's their hunch, this is what they're going with, they made their decision, and then they get to this hard class, and the really easy thought to have is, I'm not liking this isn't fun, I think I made the wrong decision. And that is not necessarily what's going on. Everything that you had a hunch for, each option that you had, is gonna have a class like this. If you're gonna get paid a lot of money to do it, it's not gonna be that easy, and that's just how it is. You have to push through that pain a little bit. I mean, there's definitely a point at which maybe you do need to switch degrees, but that point is not the first class where you hit a rough patch, or you have a hard time, or you barely make it. You're in a bachelor's degree here. You're not expected to be an expert. You're expected to be able to hold your own by the end of the whole thing, and that's it. I mean, best case scenario coming out of that bachelor's degree, you're a junior somewhere. You're a kid to them when you start out. They're gonna then go and teach you everything again that you need to know to work where you're working. So you're just kind of proving that you can get through the hard stuff, and that's all it is. So definitely when you're having those hard times in that weed out class, or even the class before the weed out class, don't be too quick to stop and think, I'm not having fun, I misjudged what this was, I didn't know this would be painful, I didn't know this would be frustrating, I didn't know that this would be so hard. What you really need to think about is, this is part of why this is cool. Cool things are hard to do. If I keep working at this, I'll be able to do this hard thing. And guys, let me tell you, it's unbelievable how quick it flips. When you finally start to get it, after those weeks, months, maybe more of pain, you finally start to get it, and you can finally have a hand in that cool thing. It's one of the best, most empowering things in the world, and I feel bad for anyone that doesn't get to have that feeling. So don't bounce out of your degree too quickly. If you think what you're doing is cool, it's something that you think is neat, awesome, something that you would watch a documentary about or a TV show about. You think this is neat and you want to do it. Don't let a hard part stop you, because just because you're hating it doesn't mean you're always going to hate it. And the truth is, when you get out into the world, you might find that it's not actually as difficult in the real world, and you'll realize those weed out classes were just giving you like the worst case scenario over and over and over again as to how it would feel to go through these things. Now, in my career, are there times that are very difficult? Yeah, absolutely there are, but it's not all the time. It's not like a weed out class where you get one and it's hard, and you get another and then it's harsh, and you get a third and it seems close to impossible. It's not like that at all. It's every once in a while something comes up. The thing is, you just have to get through college, and the best way to do it is to not quit too soon, have a good attitude about these things, and know, lastly, that you're not gonna be 100% light bulb comes on, this is what I want to do. No. Maybe some people do. Maybe some people get that light bulb and they know for sure and they go all the way. But in my experience, most people are kind of questioning it the whole time if they made the right decision. Because honestly, especially if you start young in high school, you don't really know what you want to do. When I was doing it at 27, I didn't really know that's what I wanted to do. I had a hunch. I had a hunch based on what have I done in my life that I kind of liked, I guess. And my answer to that question for my entire, most of my 20s was, I don't know. And eventually I just said, okay, fine, I'll go with my hunch. And when I got to the hard parts, I realized it was going to be hard because I was afraid. And I thought about it ahead of time. I know this is going to be hard. And I decided to have a good attitude because I realized if I didn't have a good attitude, my life was not going to end well. So basically, guys, that's my advice on this. I hope it's been helpful to you. If you like this video, please give it a like. And if you really like this video, subscribe to my channel, please. It really helps my channel out. Follow me on Twitter down below. I'll link that. and have a good night.